Hey everyone, happy Friday. Today we are going to talk about solving some equations with variables on both sides. So far we've only had variables on one side. I know this is something that you do in 8th grade because that's what I teach, my Reg 8s, and hopefully you'll remember. If not, we can definitely use some examples. So let's say you have something like 9x plus 7 equals 3x minus 17. Okay. Notice our x's, we have a 9x over here, we have a 3x over here. That means we can't combine like terms, right? Because they're not on the same side. So that's where this gets a little bit different than the other problems, as we're not just combining like terms. We got to do a little bit more to go ahead and solve this one. So what I would typically tell someone to do is, I don't know if I talked about this with you guys or not, but I always add the opposite when there's minus signs. So if you want to do that, you definitely can. Remember that if you have a minus sign, you can change it to addition as long as you change the sign of the next number. Basically, it's just moving that minus up to the 17 so you don't lose it. So if that helps you, you can definitely do that. That's up to you guys. But since we have variables on both sides of our equation, we kind of want to get them all on one side because that's how you know how to solve, right? So I have a 9x over here, I have a 3x over here. I want to get rid of one of those things. And whichever one you choose, it does not matter. For example, I always pick the smaller option. So like, I'm sorry, not necessarily the smaller one, but whichever one's going to leave me with a positive x, if that's a possibility. So over here, if I got rid of 3x, I'd be subtracting 3x. And I know if I subtract 3x, that's smaller, so this is going to give me something positive. If I subtract 9x, I can do that too, but I'm going to be left with a negative number. My wife, when she does these problems, she always gets rid of the variable on the right side because she really likes it when her variable's on the left here. So just those are some things to think about. You can kind of, you have to forge your own math path a little bit and figure out what works for you the best way. So I think I'm just going to minus 3x. So over here, I'm going to subtract 3x. And then we're just going to line it up. So we know we have to do whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. We're just going to match that up with the like terms, right? So 9x minus 3x, that's going to give me my 6x plus 7. And then over here we still have negative 17. So what's nice is you see that after we get rid of one of those variables on a side, that we are just left with a two-step equation, which is easy. We have been solving those for a long time, right? So from here, here's x. I want to get rid of 7, so we're going to minus 7 from both sides. That gives me 6x equals negative 24. And then divide by 6. And find out that x is negative 4. Yeah, pretty cool. So all problems that have variables on both sides, I think the key is that I want all those variables to be on one side eventually. So that's kind of my first step. As soon as I can, I'm going to get rid of a variable, move it over. And you might be thinking, can I still check my answer? Absolutely you can. I could plug negative 4 in for here and here, and it should be the same thing on both sides. So for example, 9 times negative 4 is negative 36, plus 7 is negative 29. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, minus 17 is negative 29. So you can see that it works out. If you check your answer, you're going to get both. Cool. Let's do a couple more, and then I'll let you guys go so you can get your work done. No homework on a Friday, right? So let's see. I'm going to snag. Let's do 6x minus 33 equals 3 times quantity 4x minus 5. Cool. So, as you can see here, we have a little bit different this time. We have distributive property, right? So again, I don't like these minus signs. If it's okay with you guys, I'm just going to add the opposite, so I know I don't lose those negatives. So over here, I got to distribute. 3 times 4 is 12x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Now again, I said I wanted to get all my variables on the same side right away. This time I couldn't do that because I had some parentheses going on, right? So I had to distribute in order to break up those parentheses. Now I can get all my variables on one side. So again, depending on what you want to do, you can subtract 6x here, or you can subtract 12x here. Again, I kind of told you, I like to get rid of the smaller one, so I'm going to minus 6x. From both sides. Over here they cancel. We're left with negative 33. And over here, 12x minus 6x is just positive 6x. Like so. And then we just got to get rid of negative 15, or minus 15, so we need to do plus 15. That's going to give me 6x, and that's going to give me 15, 16, 17, 18, negative 18. And then your last step here, divide by 6, and you get x equals negative 3. Pretty awesome. Woo! All right. I'm hoping you guys are feeling pretty good about this. It's not that much. We're just learning one new step that you may have learned before. So let's do one that's a little bit tougher, and then I'll let you guys go. All right? Let's do x plus 1 over 2 equals x minus 1 over 3. All right, so again, I want to get all my variables on the same side. That doesn't look like I can do it right away. Because when I have multiple numbers in a numerator, they're always implied that there's parentheses there. So I can't really break into that yet. What I'd like to do is get rid of these in general. So what I could do is if I get these to be common denominators, I can only look at the numerators, because if the denominators are the same, we just have to solve the numerators to be the same then. So let's try that. It looks like our common denominator would be 6, correct? So over here, we're going to need to multiply by some 3's. And over here, we're going to need to multiply by some 2's. So when you multiply this through, remember there's technically parentheses going on here. That's going to be helpful for you. So 3 times 2, there's my denominator. And then I'm going to have to distribute here. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. Over here, 2 times 3, there's that. And then distribute. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Now here's the cool part, right? Since they both have a denominator of 6, I can drop those completely and just solve the numerators. That's pretty awesome, huh? So since they are both 6, I know really what I'm solving for is trying to make the numerators the same, so I can just use the numerators. So here's my x's. I want to get rid of 1. So I'm going to get rid of 2x. So I'm going to minus 2x. Notice I added the opposite here so I didn't lose that minus 2, because it's a negative 2, right? So that's going to give me 1x plus 3 equals negative 2. And then we got one step from there, right? Subtract 3, and we get our answer of x equals negative 5. So that one's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that with the denominator or not, but now you have. And yeah, it's pretty cool, like I said. So I think that's good. You guys go ahead and try these ones for homework. And like I said, we got 1 week of this down, and hopefully you guys are doing okay. Let me know if you're not. We'll see you. Have a great week and weekend.